Jeff Overmars is preparing for a practice run. At the end of May, he's running 10 kilometers in the Blue Nose Marathon to raise money for an eye condition that's affected him since he was 16.
Initially, it was a loss of sight, and I was working at a service station. I noticed a blind spot in my left eye. I thought maybe I had, looked at the arc of a welder for a little bit too long and perhaps put a temporary blindness in my eye. But shortly after noticing the symptom, I think my mother was aware of the fact that this could be a possible cause, the choroideremia disease. So we went in, of course, and had an optometrist first take a look at things, and then from there went on to see an ophthalmologist, a specialist here in Halifax, and at that time it was confirmed that it was indeed choroideremia and not just some passing loss of sight or temporary vision loss.
Choroideremia is a genetic condition that gradually reduces vision in its victims, eventually leading to blindness. Jeff's grandfather was affected and completely lost his sight.
When I was a child, I presumed that older people lost their sight. It was one of those things. It didn't really ask too many questions about it, and due to the fact that there's a 50-50 chance that you are affected by it, you may carry the gene, you may not, and whether you have the gene, it may trigger a decline in vision, or it may not. So it was a decision made by my parents not to worry me.
The rare eye condition has no cure, but researchers at the University of Alberta are about to begin clinical trials. They hope to help future generations and those like Jeff who still maintain some vision.
It has the potential to stall the advancing of the condition, so it would stop the progression of the disease, is my understanding. It's not something yet that would be able to repair any lost vision. So it's a hopeful thing for many people that are in a condition where I am, where I haven't lost all my sight, but for people that have lost more sight as a result of the disease, it doesn't necessarily hold much promise, but I think any sort of research that's going on into this condition is a good thing.
Jeff has been training for the upcoming race. He's even recruited close friends and family to help support the cause.
The funds that I'm raising from this will go towards research, so the hope is that I can also raise some awareness so that in the future, perhaps if research and clinical trials are successful and they need to do more funding and fundraising, then people will consider donating to this cause.
Although the condition is primarily present in men, Jeff's sister is also affected.
My other two brothers were tested as well, and we found out that my younger brother also had the condition, and my sister and I were tested to see if we were carriers, and I am.
The potential threat that her children could contract the condition does not change her decision to have kids in the future. Between the upcoming trials and her brother's optimism, she feels confident.
It's amazing how well they've dealt with it, considering, and having my grandfather to speak to helps as well.
Everyone in the family admires Jeff's perseverance and dedication.
Jeff is just doing such a great job creating awareness for this cause, and anything that I can do to help, it helps him, and as well it gives me the initiative to run.
The whole group will run over 60 kilometers combined. Even though his vision is impaired, Jeff is hopeful the race will go smoothly.
Currently I can still see well enough in the daylight hours to get around pretty well. That being said, the runs that I have participated in up until this point haven't been as big as the Blue Nose 10K. I don't think they've had as many people necessarily, so we'll see how many people I run into.
He's accepted his condition as part of who he is, and whether running or not, Jeff shows no signs of slowing down.
It's had its limitations. It's given me, a great deal of worry at times. It's one of those things that I carry around with me, but at the same time, it's something that's part of who I am and my personality.
In Dartmouth, I'm Mallory Comeau for Eastlink Magazine.
Watch Eastlink Magazine. You'll be glad you did.
Eastlink Magazine, brought to you by Nova Scotia.